lost our library and lost state funding because the budget didn't allow enough money for our library. So we're here to support the library.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Candy White, and I'm here for the same reason. I'm also a member of the library board, and as a librarian at the school, I just want to say that a lot of people don't understand how important management and maintenance is in the library. If you have tons of old books and some new books, the kids are going to go to the new books first. They're not going to pick up those old books. So it's very important, budget-wise, to have money for new books, the supplies to process the books, because you have labels that have to go on all the books, and it's a lot of work. And I just want to say that Joseph, I want to give him accolades because he does a great job, and I really don't think we could find anybody as good as him in our small community to take care of it for us. So that's it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Reynolds, and I also agree. The library has been very important to many people. I see young children, I see adults, I see people that even are employees of the care they go to. They need the library, they need the computers, they need the DVDs, they need the game room, they need the books. Even the gardening, the programs that they have reading programs and other programs. The library has been very important to many people, and yes, we do need it, so I stand for it.
Thank you.
The library means a lot to me. I've been there for 20 years as a director of the library. But the game room is something special for the children. That is something they look forward to. And it's a safe haven for them. There's some places at home it's not safe. And they come to us and ask for help. And we have provided help for these children where it needs to be. And that we have done and called certain people to come in and intervene. It's not a babysitter. It is a safe haven for the children, for the game room. And then they also use the library, the computers, get books. They want to be part of the community and serve the community. And having them there, we are establishing something special in their minds. And they thank us when they become adults. I have one come to me and said, thank you. I am in the military, and if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be there. I'd be in jail. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other remarks? Thank you, guys. Okay, we're going to move on to item 7, the financial report for June 2025 by the city manager. Irma?
I forgot to bring you the pamphlets, so I apologize behind today. So, of course, June is the ending of the fiscal year, so we wrapped that up. We have an appointment with our audit this year. They're going to start early, which is good for us because we were behind a little bit last year, so they'll be here in September. So we are getting ready to start our fiscal year. We did start our fiscal year at the end of August. We will be able to upload everything that we talked about during budget season into our Encode program because we usually have outstanding bills until September, but we're going to go ahead and upload it at the end of August. So that will be coming up pretty soon. So Steve and the girls have been really busy trying to get that put together for the auditor's requests. So I'm going to go over our last numbers in June. For our sales tax, we made $51,000.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh my God, sorry.
I don't understand either.
We made $51,867. So from last month, that was up by 6.44%. Year to date, we are up by 7%. Our use tax was $12,866, up by 20%, 26% from last month. Year to date, we're up 1%. Alcohol beverage tax, we made $5,298. From last month, we were decreased by 18%, and year to date, we're up by 6%. Our franchise tax, we made $6,032. We were up by 15% from last month. Year to date, we're up 50%. Again, that is the girls collecting on the franchise tax and keeping up with it, and who owes us for our utility poles and whatnot, Dobson fiber and that kind of thing. So that's up a lot from last year. Other revenue is just miscellaneous items that we get. That is, we made $6,113. That's up by 5%, 7% from last year. That's also the cleanup that we've been doing, just getting rid of some of our stuff. So that helps out a lot. Our expenses for the month of June were $196,672. And let's see, we were month to month, we were over by 7%. So we spent a little bit more than we received. And I believe that that was due to the work comp that we had to pay out at the very ending of June, because we had to pay that in full, or half of it. So we weren't expecting that bill. So I think that's why we were over budget. On the MUA side, our water revenue was $52,337, 0.98% down from last month, but up by 90% from last year. So year to date, we did really good. Our electric revenue, $169,468, down by 11% from last month. Year to date, we're up by 12. Wind power was $22,360. From last month, we were down 26%. Year to date, we're up by 1%. Let's see what our total expenses on the MUA side were. $407,490, and we were over budget by $70,000. Again, I believe that that's part of the work comp, because we have to take it out from certain departments the way our budget is. We have the MUA side and then the general fund side. So I believe that that's what put us not looking so pretty at the end of this month. Year to date, throughout the month of, or the year, for the fiscal year, from what I can tell, we're financially stable. Of course, that will be, the auditors will tell us at the end when they gather all of our paperwork together where we stand. So in September, we'll have that information.
Any questions? Thank you. All right, item 8, the police report by the Chief of Police.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We had. There we go. Hello.
Now try again.
Good evening. We had 36 incident reports that we did. Some of those include animal cruelty, assault, burglary, breaking and entering, disorderly conduct, driving under the influence of alcohol, drunkenness, domestics, larceny, theft from buildings, emergency detentions, a forcible rape, trespassing of real property, vandalisms and damage to property, and multiple warrants. Out of those, we got 7 arrests and charges were filed on 7 others. We had 6 collision reports for the month, and our calls for service were up by over 100. So we were rather busy. We had 555 calls for service, 25 911 transfers, 2 abandoned motor vehicles, as I said, the 6 collisions, the business alarms, residential alarms, animal calls, child abuse reports, disturbances, domestic disputes, multiple EMS calls, 6 extra patrols. We did 41 follow-ups. We did some foot patrols, took care of some gas drive-offs, harassment, 159 requests for information, 3 noise disturbances, 2 open doors found while on patrol, 5 reckless drivers, 29 requests to speak to officers, 1 report of shots fired, 17 suspicious persons, that one was up dramatically, and 8 suspicious vehicles. Trespassing, as I said, our warrant services, and 5 welfare checks. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, fire report by the fire chief.
We had a total of 28 calls for the month of July. We had 7 lift assist, 5 landing zones that we set up, 2 fire alarms, 2 PR events for the fireworks displays that we had, or that churches had that we went and sat at. 7 grass fires, 2 motor vehicle accidents, 1 report of somebody burning in town, and 2 gas leaks. That's it.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item 10, discussion of possible action to approve resolution number 2025-080501, authorizing the city clerk to be able at any time throughout fiscal year 2026 to amend the City of Mangum's budget for the fiscal year 2026 and making any corrections from one line item to another within the department's budget or from one object category to another.
It's the beginning of the fiscal year, like I said, and we usually have a resolution every year if the clerks make a mistake in paying something out of the wrong account. This just allows the city clerk to make that correction. It's not going to increase the budget or decrease the budget. It's simply just to fix it. Other than that, we would have to be here, have a meeting every time we needed to make a correction. I have advised our clerk, we will have at least every time we have the meeting, if we've got something there, we'll let you know what we fixed and the corrections that we had to do. So you'll be in tune with it. It's just that we don't have to make an appearance every time.
A motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, item 11, presentation of award by the American Legion representative. Do we have that today? Well, do we need to do anything or just move on?
Yeah, I guess no action.
Okay. Item 12, discussion of possible action to approve payment of invoice number 19981 in the amount of $41,294.59 to Moonlight Maintenance for the call-out and work done to try and save the Welcome Center before decision was made to demo, to be paid out of insurance money received fiscal year 24-25 from OMAG on roof damage.
I believe this was at Derby time, Derby weekend. The Welcome Center flooded, and somebody came out to try to stop it and clean it up and save it from going over to the other side, or whatever was going on with it. And so we received the invoice for $41,000, so we need to get permissions to get them paid. And we are going to pay it out of that, the OMAG check that we received for the $94,000. So that will be paid out of that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the invoice.
Second. Someone second that?
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Item 13, discussion of possible action to accept the bid from M&B Construction for $74,075 to demo the Welcome Center.
M&B were the only ones that we got to be able to come out here and do the demo in the first place. Is that the exact amount, or was just this the
That's the
estimate?
exact amount on their invoice, yes.
And we did say that we would give you guys an exact amount when we knew what it was, so that's what it's gonna cost us for the demo.
When do they anticipate doing that?
They should have been out today. They had truck problems today. They were,
He texted me about 30 minutes ago, said he'd be here in the morning.
Okay. How long will that take?
That I couldn't tell you right offhand.
They were the only company that said they would touch it, right, out of the 3 or 4 that.
yes, ma'am.
All right, so we need a motion to accept the bid.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Item 14, discussion of possible action to use the leftover money from hail damage on vehicles, $28,537.21, to cover the shortfall of money to demo the Welcome Center in the amount of $21,231.18. And then there's the breakdown, $94,138.41 Welcome Center roof insurance, less $74,075 to M&D bid, less the $41,294.59 for Moonlight Maintenance invoice.
So when we had the hail damage that killed all of our vehicles, some would not repair our vehicles, just the windshield. So we had leftover money from those claims. That's going to make up for paying the demo and the maintenance invoice. The $94,000 wasn't enough to cover both. So we're going to use the remaining of the hail insurance claims to pay the rest of it all.
Okay, a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Item 15, discussion of possible action to approve a third-party payroll and HR service. Commissioner Golden?
So this has taken some time to decipher, and I kind of briefly went over with you all what's going on. So currently, our payroll department is at $35,880 per year. That includes accounts payable processing as well. The quotes we had were from Paychex, Exodus, and Gusto. Paychex, they did payroll, just the payroll, not the HR and not any of the things that the state's reportings, and they wanted $27,000 per year. Exodus, their estimate was $87,000, but it gave us everything that we needed for payroll and HR. And Gusto, they just do check writing, so we would still be responsible for all the other things, and theirs was $9,000 yearly. And it was my understanding that when the board before us approved outsourcing, the circumstances were different. So it was looking more feasible at that time, but things have changed in the last year that have made it not so feasible.
All right. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I told her I can make the checks out for $9,000
For
and save us some
sure.
money. That seems awful expensive.
Yes.
So I would like to make a motion that we stick with our current way of doing things and not proceed forward with the outsourcing.
Okay, a second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Thanks for working on that.
You're welcome.
Item 16, discussion of possible action to approve the Animal Control Board of all or part consisting of Brittany Gutierrez, Abby Cornwell, Barbara Halford, and Misty Roberts, or other nominations. Commissioner Golden?
Yes. So I want y'all to know that I put a lot of thought into this. I wanted to do what was best for our animal control. So I approached Miss Gutierrez, Miss Cromwell, Barbara Halford, and Misty Roberts. And I would like to tell you a little bit about two of them, because they are vet techs and going to vet tech school, so I thought that was a major plus for us. Miss Gutierrez, she grew up in Altus mainly, but lived in Frederick for a year or so, and she is currently in school for pre-veterinary animal science and hopes to transfer to OSU vet school in the future. She started dog sitting and volunteered places to help out where she could, not just animal related. She's fostered dogs and She has taken care of several wild animals such as birds, raccoons, rabbits, and possums. She is a certified vet assistant and has worked as a vet tech, kennel tech. She has shadowed vets in Altus, and she also is a volunteer at Old Mountain Farms in Blair, where she helps take care of horses. She has CTIT certifications from OSU. She's a certified CPR in pet recovery, and she has received 2 ag scholarships and is receiving another one in September. So I felt she was a very good fit for us.
Sure.
Miss Cromwell, she is a veterinary assistant at Western Prairie Veterinary Hospital. She has worked there for a year, and her strong points is her deep compassion and unwavering dedication. She's a true animal lover, animal whisperer, with a gift for connecting with creatures great and small. And I think that she would be a perfect fit for us as well. Misty Roberts, she's my friend, but she has the same compassion for pets as I do. She helps me out at my place of business often, and she's a go-getter. Like, you tell her you're thinking something, she will go out of her way to do it. And then we all know Barbara Halford. She's Chris Halford's wife and our neighborhood groomer. She's a wealth of knowledge. She worked for Doc Stone before she started her grooming business, and she's my go-to for any problems that I have personally or in my kennel. So I think all 4 of them would be a welcome addition.
I agree. All right, so we need a motion to approve the members.
Can I do want to, can you just let us, the board and the community know kind of what your idea on the animal control board, what your plans are for that?
Okay, so I know that our policies out there are a little dated, I guess would be a good thing, so I would like to revamp some of those. I would like to move toward more of a no-kill shelter out there, which we are not, to my understanding, but we go long periods, that we've got some sort of certification saying that we go long periods of time. I would like to help keep it, stocked in food, cleaning supplies, organize volunteers to go out there to make repairs. On my bucket list is to possibly have a new shelter at some point. I don't know how I'm gonna make that work, but that's kind of my plan. And just try to get the ball rolling and help our furry population.
Okay.
Is it gonna be at the same place that it's
Currently,
always been?
currently it is. I'm kind of investigating some other avenues for,
But it has to be outside of city limits, right?
yes and no.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So, depending on what avenue I can make happen. So, but I'm investigating all that. I've been in contact with the gentleman that offered us a donation for a new building. His specifications was that it be in city limits. So I'm kind of filling out some places for that and see if I can make something magical happen.
Well, thank you for your hard work.
Well, thank you.
For sure.
Now, the animal control ordinance that set up this board, it does allow for the 5 members, so we got 4 here. Y'all can go ahead and approve all 4 of those, and if y'all want to think of a 5th one, y'all can nominate that person, or it could just, we can fill that position at another time.
I know one of the members from that neuter
Yes.
thing.
Yes,
I
I've been
don't-
playing phone tag with her,
Okay.
so.
I don't know if
I was
how many of
actually
those-
hoping
I know
that maybe
she's
she
reached
would
out
be
to
one
me,
that'd
so-
want to be, so, but yeah, I've been playing phone tag with her.
Okay.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the 4 presented?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Houghton?
Hammond? Yes. Huckabee?
Yes.
Hooley?
Yes.
Golden?
Yes.
All right. We are going to go ahead and move new business in front of this next executive session. Irma, I'll let you introduce us.
Come on up, man. I just want to say you guys are a bunch of friendly people. So it's been a pleasure meeting you guys.
My name is Shaniqua Wilson. I am with the National Bureau of Collections. We actually operate out of Midwest City, Oklahoma, and helping a lot of the businesses throughout many of the counties collect on from county court fines and warrants to individual private-owned businesses, and gathering those funds or recouping those funds and bringing in revenue for counties and cities and businesses. I met Ms. Irma at one of the municipal conferences that we went to this year in June, and we wanted to come out and just kind of talk with you guys and possibly collaborating in helping to bring some of those fines and court fines and utility funds back into your community. What I've heard tonight was a lot of money going around and needing money coming back in, because nothing can function without money coming back in. We actually, again, are located in Midwest City. We've been in business for 54 years. I actually personally, just this year, moved to sales and marketing, and that's where we go out and try to work with the counties in different places. Greer County is actually one of our counties that we work with the courts in helping them to recoup funds from lost tickets and court cases, for whether it be felony to misdemeanor or traffic. One of our sell points that we have in the way we actually recoup those funds in a more profitable way is our office don't work off of robocalling. We actually still utilize people in our office. We have actual persons that skip trace. A lot of people that we deal with, or you guys deal with, actually either move from their homes where utilities and things are not being paid, and you probably can't find them to pay them, or either whether it be tickets or fines and things where people are passing through, or they're just forgetting about their tickets, or they have court fines and things that they're just not paying. Some of the times it's because dealing with the court fines, they don't know, it might be an amount that they feel that I cannot pay it, or they just don't know how. At that point, we operate in being able to connect with those persons to give them options that they could possibly, whether it's to pay a certain amount that the counties require or the cities require to clear a warrant or to pay off their fines, or if they cannot meet that, we do not collect anything from them, because the point is to get them to take care of their obligation. So we will operate in working with them by setting up some sort of manageable payment plan that is still coinciding with your rules and guidelines of what the courts set and what the utilities offices set. So we have 19 different counties. We do have several cities that we deal with or collect for that are utilities and court fines for the municipal courts. So in saying we've been in business for 54 years, making it through the pandemic and things like that, we actually work in our office to a point to where we're still respectful to the people that we come in contact with, and that's why we have a lot of more people that actually reach back out to our office to take care of their obligations versus just sending out a letter to them to an address that they don't even live at anymore. Or either, like I said, they've moved or something that other people cannot get in contact with them. And another key point of our office is you guys have a lot of things that you operate and you do that maybe you don't have time to locate and contact those people or try to find them, and that's where our office comes in to help with that, to bring the increase of those revenues in a more efficient way. Other than that, we actually just would like the opportunity to help Mangum to increase your revenues by helping you collect those type of delinquent accounts is basically what it is. I'm not sure of who or how or what you utilize now to help you recoup those funds, but we would like to, again, have that opportunity to help you guys to increase maybe some of these things that you're talking about, to fund things in the community. Maybe if you have roads and things that need repaired, or stoplights, or libraries, or things like that, that you can actually bring in money to just have that opportunity to help you guys utilize that, to do that.
I do want to say that Greer County does use NBC. They're very helpful. We use them, and it sure takes a burden off of us having to find the people and locate them. But yeah, we do love NBC.
Thank you.
So how does that work as far as your company getting paid? Is it a commission of collections or?
For the counties, the counties is a statewide statute law. It's just a blanket that the state does with the sheriff's office. With the cities, you're individual, and the utilities are individual, so it's kind of separate than the states. So we do operate off of a percentage based on the need that you have. Most of the time, we do operate off of tiers. We do have the lowest tier that we have is basically if you're just wanting someone to send out letters, then we do have a smaller tier that is a lower percentage, but that's just sending out the letters and hoping that, those persons that are still living there, or phone numbers are still good, that they call back. Most of the time in this situation, that brings in less revenue. The option that we recommend is that you utilize the other skill that we have as far as the skip tracing. For this millennial generation, we do have text messaging, because a lot of them respond by being able to pay by a text message over the phone versus having to actually talk to somebody. But we do operate off a percentage of that, and with that, it is a 28% of what we actually collect. So whatever business that you send, we don't get paid if we do not collect it. If you send, and just to throw in a number, if you send $1,000 to our office to collect on, if we do not collect that, there's nothing that comes out of your pocket. There's no expense to you. I call it free labor. But because you have someone that is constantly reaching out to these persons, and like I said, once it's collected, then we would receive, whether they pay in our office, we would receive 28% of what we collect. So if you send $1,000 to be collected, it's 28% of that $1,000 that we receive, and then the rest will come to you guys. A lot of times, especially with court matters and things like that, a lot of people deal with scams, or thinking that someone calling them wanting them to pay is a scam. So you might get calls to say, hey, are they legitimate? And she probably can verify that. But even if they pay at the utility department or the court office, then whatever you all collect at that point, then we would send either we can send an invoice to you guys to collect at the end of the month, or whenever you guys give a report of what has been sent in your office, then you would just send over the 28% of what has actually been collected of what you've turned. But that 28%, like I said, it gets you, because we do have to send out letters or notify them of them being in collections, because of it being the city utilities, actually. That also gets the skip tracing of all the accounts, and just all the different tactics that we have to actually get a greater increase of that revenue back, instead of just robocalling or sending out letters.
Awesome.
Well, like I said, in the last few meetings, we have an estimated 500,000 unpaid utility bills, and probably about 300,000 unpaid traffic tickets that we haven't gotten. It has not been worked on since 2022.
So weren't we just recently doing some kind of collection?
Well, we had one of our clerks sending out
Right.
the letters and, calling people, just trying to get utility bills.
And so how much were we able to recover that way?
I believe she said her last number was about $20,000.
So, I mean, it's just a drop in the bucket compared to,
But if we have an agency that helps us out, like them, if you have somebody who owes us $500-600, they take that 28%, so it's not hurting us. You know, whatever we can get at this point. Some of those are very old utility bills, you know, like from COVID times, 19 and 20, and it's very hard to collect on. Like she said, people have moved or they close that account, start a new account, and I mean, it's very hard for us to try to get that money paid to us, so. yeah,
I
we
know
try
in our
to-
office, it tremendously helps me. I don't have the time to be calling, really, and with postage going up, sending out letters it adds up, so.
Right. And then with the utilities, of course, there is a statute of limitations of 5 years to be able to actually make it mandatory or request for funds. With the court fines, there is no statute of limitations. So, like with the counties, we've had cases that we've collected on from 1989. It's just the point of actually contacting them and letting them know and making them aware of what's out there. And most of the time, they will get it taken care of. Is everybody going to do it? No, unfortunately. But just to be able to, if you have funds that are just sitting there and versus collecting nothing, even if you had someone to pay half of it, that's still something coming back in from someone that's not paying anything. But our objective is to be able to, especially dealing with court stuff, be able to get them to pay those things.
awesome. Irma, is this your recommendation that we do this?
Well, we will, I'm gonna have it on the next agenda because somebody else was supposed to be here also, and they weren't able to make it, so they'll be here next month, so
Okay.
we'll decide on, or you guys can decide on the next
Okay.
one. But she was very, very helpful. We talked a long time when I seen her at I think it was the court. And so I said, you know, we've got to start somewhere. And like she said, we're going to lose out on the past due utilities if we don't start collecting
For sure.
somewhere. Any little bit of money helps.
Any other questions, comments?
I do have all of her information, so I'll email it to you all.
Okay.
And I'll read these.
Thank you for driving here and.
It
giving
was
us info.
very good drive. I was very shocked that there was zebras in.
We have a lot to offer.
Thank you so much.
I think this is the. Thank you.
Whoops, was there more than one?
Okay, okay.
Here you go.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, any other new business? Okay. All right, so then we will go on to item 17, discussion of possible action to enter into executive session to discuss the employment, hiring, appoint, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any individual salaried public officer or employee, specifically the city clerk, in accordance with 25 OS 307B1. A motion to enter into executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Hooley, sorry.
Yes. It's all right, I don't care.
Come back in a second.
I'm not listening to you.
All right, we're going to enter back into executive session. If you'll all be quiet, please. Motion to enter into executive session.
No,
Hey,
motion to.
Come out.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll make a motion to come out.
Second,
Seconded.
vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Hooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right. Action, do we have a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to hire Brittany McClintock. Woo! I did good. As city clerk.
As interim city clerk.
Excuse me, that big word.
Yeah, and I'll second it.
Okay, vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, item 19, discussion and possible action to enter into executive session to discuss the employment, hiring, appoint, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any individual salary, public officer, or employee, specifically the city attorney, in accordance with 25 OS 307B1. A motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion second?
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right. Come out of executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Pooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, no action taken at this time. Staff and board remarks. Remarks or inquiries by the governing body members, city manager, city attorney, or city employees.
Hello, my name is Joseph Marsh, and I'm the library director and also the city's IT administrator. First, I want to thank everybody who came out in support of the library. Hearing everything, all the good you had to say, really touched my heart. I appreciate everyone who showed up, even the people who showed up just to be a body in a seat, or even the people who left a little bit early. Seeing all of you here has been really moving for me. As to the rumors about the library closing, to the best of my knowledge, there is no active plans for closing the library. However, there are some budgetary concerns regarding the library as the budget currently stands. Back on June 2nd, at the budget approval meeting, Irma asked me if I would continue serving as the IT administrator in addition to being the library director. I agreed, and she mentioned during that meeting that the library budget hadn't been finished yet because there was still some uncertainty about what everybody's roles would be at that time. On July 11th, I received my budget for the new budget for the year, and I noticed that there were items missing. Specifically, there was $0 in the book budget, the computers and copier budget, and the office supplies budget. However, every other item in the budget was exactly what I had requested in my April proposal. So when I received this, I thought this must clearly be what she meant by the budget being unfinished. So when I approached her about it that same day, asking her about I saw that the budget was still unfinished. Without looking at the budget, she informed me that the budget was correct. I pressed her about the matter and pointed out that these are essential services for the library to offer. And eventually, she told me that I would need to bring it up to the commissioners and request there to be an amendment to the library budget. I told her that I understood and that I would talk to Steve about being put on the agenda. After my meeting with Irma, I went and told Steve that Irma told me that I would need to be put on the agenda. And Steve informed me that he hadn't started working on the agenda yet, but to remind him later in the month, and he would put me on. On July 16th and 17th, I had my meetings with the Library Board of Directors and the Friends of the Library Board. In my required librarian report, I reported to them what the current state of the budget was, as I was required to do. However, I also told them that I was going to be on the agenda for this meeting, and I would be asking for the budget to be revised. On July 21st, I spoke with Steve again to remind him that I wanted to be put on the agenda. At that time, he told me to get together what I wanted to present and send him any documents I had. I asked him when he needed the information by, and he told me by July 30th. On July 30th, I sent him my proposal and all the relevant documents. Late that evening, he sent me an email back telling me that the budget cannot be revised until it is officially installed, and that he assured me that right now there is no money to move around. However, because it came in late in the day, I didn't receive the email until the following morning. That morning, I replied to him with some questions. I told him I was hoping to have some amount approved so that we could make purchases once the budget was installed. I asked him if he had any estimate for when the budget would be installed, and I asked if there was any way to pre-approve changes that would go into effect once the budget is installed. He told me he didn't have the answer. Oh, first, he did not answer my email that day, so the following day, I came to him in person and asked him these questions. He told me that he did not know the answer, and I would need to speak with Irma or maybe Corey about it to find the answers. While I was waiting for Irma to come into the office, Corey happened to pass by my office on his way to speak with the police department. So I pulled him aside and asked him if there was any rules about being unable to amend the budget until the budget was installed. He told me that while the city may have policies regarding it, there is no legal reason why the board wouldn't be able to make amendments to the budget. I passed that information on to Steve, and he told me he would put something in the budget for me. Later that morning, I received an email from Irma stating that I had been removed from the agenda again, and that I would not be put on until a later time. I will admit, at this point, I was very frustrated because not only was I told to come and speak with the commissioners, I made no secret of the fact that I was working towards being put on the agenda and working towards working on my proposal during that time. But at the very last minute, when it was too late to change anything, I was told I would not be put on the agenda. I was simply hoping to make it so that there was money in these items, so that when the budget was installed, I would have something that I was able to spend, rather than having to wait until an additional month until the meeting following the installation of the budget in order to get the budget amended. I have been having people come into the library asking me when we're getting new books. Early on, I told them we're at the end of the fiscal year. We are on a pause for purchases, and I can't buy anything new at this time. Later, I was having to tell them the budget is still under review, and we will be making purchases as soon as we are allowed to by the city. However, at a certain point, people started acting like I was giving them the runaround, that they did not believe what I was saying, that I was just trying to push them off to another time. I've also observed people coming into the library, looking at our new release shelf, seeing that there's nothing there, and leaving empty-handed. Once that has happened more than a few times, these people will simply stop coming to the library. All I wanted was to have the budget amended so that we could hit the ground running once the budget was opened up, and maybe possibly ask for a small amount that we could spend in the meantime, something that wouldn't cause any necessary problems for the city, but we could at least put something on the shelves, buy some supplies that we're running low on. Just get like the most popular authors, most popular series, something that people will go, okay, well, the thing maybe I wanted wasn't here, but I see that they are getting new stuff, so I will keep coming and checking. However, when I was informed that I would not be put on the agenda, I did begin to inform people who came into the library that we currently had no money for books, computers, and office supplies in the budget, and until that was rectified, we would not be making any purchases. And I encouraged them to come to this meeting where I would be speaking before the commissioners and addressing the issue. Now, it does appear that information went through the grapevine and turned into rumors of the library being closed. I do want to state at no point in time did I tell people the library was being closed, and I did tell them that all other items are being funded. However, we do believe that these services are essential to the library. They are the services that people come to the library for. And the information about the budget is publicly accessible. Anybody could come to City Hall, ask to see the budget for any department. So I was not giving any privileged information out. If the budget looks bad, it's because it currently is bad. And all I was asking for is for some number to be put in there, even if it had to be adjusted up or down later. It's unsustainable, it's unconscionable for there to be $0 in the book budget for the library. In the notice I was telling people, I specified that I did believe that this was an oversight and that we were working to correct it. But being taken off the agenda, we are put in a position where we are not able to correct it at this time. I do have documentation here regarding all the meetings that I had up to this point and the conversations, as well as my initial proposal that I was going to bring to the commissioners and the emails that were exchanged in the process. And that is all I have to say, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
As I said, I have documentation for everybody. Feel free to go through it at your leisure. And if you have any questions about the matter, feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Irma, was the money for the library, was it rearranged in some way this year, like as compared to years in the past, or?
I do have a copy of the previous budget as well as the current budget.
When we had the budget meetings individually where everybody was, we had the budget hearing, we had the budget retreat where Joseph's requests were in there. And then when we had our retreat was when we had to refigure numbers for the fire truck and the extra police officer. And I can't remember what else we talked about in that budget retreat. And so that's when we had to make changes in budgets. And as I told Joseph when that was coming up, I said, and Mr. Kendall, because it looks this way does not mean we can't amend later on during the budget in January or December or whatever, you know, one of those, after we sit down and we look at all of our financials. Things have came up since budget that we were not expecting. Our work comp that you all know about. We've had the $41,000 utility bill, and then, or not utility, that welcome center, and then we figured out we weren't gonna repair some other trucks, so some other trucks' windshields are not getting repaired. So we could finish paying for that. Gordon's presentation is coming up. You just can't fit everything in at once, and my job is to present to you all what is the emergencies right now that we need. Nobody said we were going to close the library ever. It amazes me of how we say one thing and it's turned over into don't close the library. We just can't purchase books right now. I ran a report and gave it to Commissioner Huckabee and showed her the, when we did purchase books. We purchased books $8,000, $6,000, $5,000, $4,000 every year. And that's okay, because like he's saying, he needs it. Everybody's departments are important. But we've got a fire truck. We've got police cars down. How many police units do we have currently down right now?
We have one down right now.
We have one police car. We have budget, grants that we can get that we can't get that because we have open grants still today. I understand, we understand that everybody needs something because we all do, right? Our streets need repaired, our cops need another cop, our fire guys gotta go fight fires and need a vehicle, a fire truck. And we put them off. We've got a bigger truck they need. We've got more information that's fixing to come up. That number is gonna knock our freaking socks off in just a little bit. It's impossible to be able to provide for each and every department. And if we do, we have to make budget cuts. And Joseph, at the time where we talked about, at our public hearing, I believe, is when we were adopting the budget, we had the public hearing, and I said, we want to keep that third person in the library. We don't want him to be at fault and this employee not have a job. So we kept the third person. So everybody's departments got shaved. Every single one of them. The electric department doesn't get that extra employee because we have another police officer we've got to get in the police department. We went a whole year with our guys having 5 firemen in their department, and they have 6. They function and run off of 6, and for a whole entire year they ran off of 5, and still don't have anybody in there. I understand everybody needs something, trust me, but if we don't have money and we don't have bills coming in, payments coming in, revenue coming in, sales tax coming in, if you don't shop local, we're not gonna get those sales tax dollars, right? So we as a community ourselves still have to go and help support these places. We need to go into United, we need to go into the market, we need to go into the library. I understand it. Joseph is very passionate about the library, and I'm so thankful that he is why he was our Employee of the Year last year, right? Because he loves what he does. But it's impossible for us to put what we are allowed to spend in each and everybody's departments to purchase what they need. Right now, we need to say, what is the emergency? Do we need the $6,000 worth of books, or does the police guys need vehicles? Because they can't go arrest people on foot. I mean, they can, but, you know, they need their vehicles to function. They're not gonna fix them for us for free. I understand. Trust me, I'm not the bad guy, Joseph, I'm not. But it's my job to present to you all, for you all to make a decision, and we did during budget time. Does not mean we can't look at numbers in a couple of months, because we can. But right now, while we have invoice over here and invoice over here and Gordon stuff coming up, we have to slow down for a second and let's see what we need to get before every department right now is set on emergency need basis right now. Every department. Not because we have $0 in our bank account, because I don't want the community to think we're broke. But we need to stop and look at financially what we need to get right now. Yes, we have CDs, yes, we have this. I can't use that. I only allowed a certain amount of money to put in everybody's budgets. I can't touch savings, I can't touch CDs. We have state statutes behind all of that as well. But does not mean we can't relook at somebody's department in a month from now. The reason why we did remove him from the agenda is because we don't have that installed. We knew we were looking for a city clerk. I don't want anybody to go in there and make another $20,000 worth of errors. We paid $20,000 worth to our auditor last year to fix our errors from the last 2 city clerks that we had. I have told Steve, don't touch anything, don't do any journal entries, stop until we get our new clerk in and we start brand new. And then we go from there. We can't afford to make mistakes in there. We just can't. We needed the $20,000 worth of mistakes for the books. So that's why that happened. We're not closing the library.
Joseph?
I understand that everybody needs money. Every department needs more money than they're given. I fully understand that. I understand that cuts have to be made. However, when you have to pay for something to go in and say, the book budget, library doesn't need books, that's 0. That's unconscionable. We can't, it'd be one thing if they said, Joe, we're really sorry, we know you asked for $6,000 of books, but we have to make drastic cuts, everyone has to tighten their belt, you're getting $3,000. If that had been the conversation, I would have been like, man, this is really unfortunate, but I understand. If everyone has to make sacrifices, we'll make sacrifices too. But it's not like if there's $6,000 in our book budget, the second that the budget is installed, I'm gonna go, woohoo, it's time to spend all $6,000 right now. We buy books month by month. We need to, because new books are coming out all the time. We need to pace ourselves so that we can buy books as they're coming out. If I had like even $500 right now, it would make a huge difference for what we're currently offering at the library. No one's saying that, no one's saying that like every other department doesn't matter, give all your money to the library. But when I went in and I said, these items are wrong, she told me, no, they are correct. And that is what I took issue with. If she said, I know that we haven't updated it yet, but we will, once the auditors are finished going through this, once the budget is installed, I will sit down with you and we'll figure out this budget together. That would be one matter. But that's not what she said when I approached her. She said, no, it's correct. And then when I pressed her, I said, if we need to have, it can't be correct. We have $0 for books. We're a library. That doesn't make sense. And her response was, didn't you just buy books? And the answer was, we bought books back in April because that's when we were told we were no longer able to spend. This meeting was in July. And the amount that we had purchased was $500 worth of books. It wasn't that much. It certainly wasn't enough to cover us for the rest of the year. Then I told her the computer budget will not work. We need at very minimum $2,100 in our computer budget so we can maintain our library service software and our public computer software. Without that, the library cannot function. While she did say that we would figure something out with that, I then went on to the office supplies. We need office supplies to run the budget. We need paper, we need paper clips, we need label protectors. She told me that I could spend money from the materials and supplies budget. However, the materials and supplies budget was reduced because previously we were spending, like all of our computer hardware was being spent out of materials and supplies. Our computer software was being taken out of other services and charges. So in order to put those into the appropriate places, I requested for those amounts to be reduced and put into computers and supplies. I also requested for some of the materials and supplies to be put into office supplies because our office supplies, we went over and we had to spend from materials and supplies anyways. While the materials and supplies was reduced by the requested amount, that money didn't go anywhere else. So even if I was permitted to purchase office supplies out of materials and supplies, the amount that's left in material supplies is what the library needs for the materials and supplies that the library needs for the year. Because I was moving that money into computers and into office supplies, if that money wasn't there, then there's not enough money left in there to purchase office supplies. As I said, I have each of the conversations I have in my documentation. This one would be the July 11th entry.
I do want to say, on behalf of all of us, we all were a part of that decision, and I didn't realize the impact that it would have, and so my apologies for that. And Irma, can we, after the budget is installed, can we reevaluate?
Which is what I said. We will sit down after everything is in and we get our new clerk and we will see where we stand. I said, just because it shows $0 right now does not mean we will not get books.
Is it possible we could do a fundraiser in the short term to get new books at the library? At least a little bit, I mean.
Friends of the library, or if I do one.
Okay, well.
My license plate.
Okay, well.
Yes. Each year, the state supplies the library with some state aid. It's usually around the amount of $6,000. However, if the library spends less money on its operations than it does the previous year, if its funding is reduced by a greater percentage than any other department in the city, we will no longer receive state aid.
Okay.
So while some people might say, well, we might lose $6,000, but look at this, we're saving $11,000. That doesn't mean that you're defunding the library by $11,000. It means you're defunding it by $17,000, because at that point, we would be losing access to our state aid.
That does make sense, thank you. And we will reevaluate after the installation, and even if there's something I can personally do to help with the fundraiser, I'm willing to help in any way as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
One of the things that's hurting most of what's going on are the kids. The kids aren't coming up there because there's nothing to do. And they go up during the summer a lot. And we need to think of the children, because they're gonna grow up one of these days and be like the rest of us. But anyway, that's my opinion. If you want budgets, hey, there's 2 copies of this for the 7. Well, I've got my copy.
Any other remarks at this time from city people? Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Yes.
vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, adjourned. Now we'll go right into the MUA. Call to order, please.
Hammond,
Here.
Huckabee,
Here.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, we have a quorum, the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Vote.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second.
You guys, thank you
Hammond.
for coming, but I do ask as you leave that you can do it quietly.
We're not through.
A vote on the consent agenda.
Hammond,
Here.
no, this is for the vote.
Say yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Huckabee,
Yes.
I'll let you still.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, at this time, we're going to open it up to remarks or inquiries by the audience not pertaining to any item on the agenda. Anyone have any remark they would like to make? If you would, you can stand up at the podium, and you have 2 minutes.
I don't know if I'll get to this, because I don't know if this is right or not, but I just had a quick question on the last one. You guys were, my name's Rod Duff, I just moved here from Chicago. So
Oh, wow.
I'm learning a lot of new things. But my question is, there was a lot of discussion about the library, and I heard a lot of different money being tossed around, but I also heard something about somebody, I think it was $40,000 to clean up something, like a flood. You're considering that, and then you're also tearing the building down.
They already came and did the services. They tried to save the building.
We had multiple storms.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was just curious, the decision making.
Yeah.
It's just a weird decision. All right, that's all I had to say. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right, any other remarks? All right, item 5, report on the status of the city's substation and control panel and some upcoming expenditures needed to upgrade. Gordon?
These pictures might not mean, you already got one. Might not mean a whole heck of a lot to you guys, but it's just something to give you a little bit of visual.
We can look and.
Thank you.
That don't mean nothing to you until I tell you what it means to you.
I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Some kind of control panel.
I was actually, this kind of dumbfounded me. Let me get back around here. Because I was not prepared for this either. Actually, the guy from OMPA, which we have to kind of abide by what they say, or we don't have electricity in town. So this is not my doings by no means. This is OMPA requesting. They're requesting, as you can see, that nameplate, the one in black and white. You see the year model there? What does it say, 1974? I got an extra one here somewhere, Mary Jane, maybe. 1974. It's elderly. Of course, it's done its duty for 50 years now. We've done very little work on it over them 50, over them 50 years. So we're pushing our luck on it right now, is what the dude is telling me. The guy's name is Alex Dobson. He works for OMPA. And I don't know how he stores as much info in his brain as he does, but he's a very smart guy. And whenever he starts telling me, you know, hey, you need to look at this thing, I'm gonna listen to him because he knows what he's talking about. However, since we no longer have a power plant to run the town, in order to make these repairs, we're looking at a mobile sub. They're not cheap. The good thing is we don't actually have to do it today. He said we could probably wait till fall, you know, give us some time to think about all this. But with that being said, you want to hear a dollar amount that
Yes.
he's guesstimating? Well, the mobile sub is like 100,000 or better itself, depending on how long you have to have it. So, I mean, I'm guessing anywhere from 130 to 175,000 for the mobile sub and what he's projecting that we do to that 1974 model transformer to hopefully get a few more years out of it. I mean, you know, we could possibly get another 20 years out of that thing. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but since it's already 50 years old, but it's done pretty good so far. Or, you know, if you don't do all them repairs and the thing blows up and then we're in a crisis with no lights and need a whole new transformer, it's $1 million plus for a new transformer of that size. Of course, you can't really tell by that nameplate, but it's it's the one that actually transfers it from the voltage that you get from the transmission lines to where we can use it here in town. It's the big one. So, I mean, I know that's a lot of chips, and that's, of course, that's what Herman was mentioning about a while ago, but, you know, electric department's who makes your money, too. I don't know how much the library pays. I shouldn't say that, but the electric department makes your money, you know, so, I mean, you know, this is what you gotta spend your money on. You know, I
Okay, is
think.
there not a grant we can get for this?
No, I haven't looked into that, but, I mean,
Lusty had to replace their substation, and they was able to get some financial assistance.
I'm sure it's some kind of financial
I
assistance.
think OMPA actually had a program that helped.
And OMPA does that the color picture there, it's called a Schweitzer relay. That part has already failed us. And I didn't even realize that, but they can tell, OMPA can tell all this from their switchgear stuff. That other picture, Jackie, that's not the
This
yellow
one?
color, yeah. That part there is what we did Thursday. Alex came here Thursday and replaced that one with the spare that they keep on hand, so ours could be sent in for repairs. Now, ours is out of warranty, but he says he's gonna try to push them to maybe help us a little bit on it. I haven't heard any dollars amounts on the repairs on it. We have 3 of those in there. We only need 2 now because we don't have generation. One of them was for engines to be generated off of, which, of course, like I say, we don't do that anymore, so we don't need that third one. But we do, that one you're looking at, the number 2 right there, if that fails and things don't trip like they're supposed to, we're without power, and then we're gonna need an emergency sub, and then you're gonna really be. It's one of them things, we need to do some preventive maintenance before it gets any worse, you know? I mean, we took an outage, I don't remember when that was, a couple of years ago at midnight, so we could do some repairs ourselves that we did. About one breaker that says breaker 2 right there. I was supposed to be able to go in there and plant and push a button and it comes back on. Well, guess what? It didn't. Well, after an hour later of me freaking out and talking to Alex about how am I gonna get this stupid thing back on, because the whole town's off. And I've went an hour over my allotted time already. Well, we had to do some, luckily I finally figured out how to do it by talking to him on the phone and got everything back on. That's another thing that's gonna have to be worked on and when the time comes with the mobile sub in place. Or we're gonna lose all the power and be in a heck of a bind. Don't freak out just yet, because like I said, I think we've got a couple, hopefully we can, like I say, he suggests that we try to get through the heat of the summer make it into fall, and then everything's like, it's just easier to work on stuff when it's 70 degrees outside instead of 115 or whatever.
So that would also give us some time to check into some funding options
Maybe,
as well.
yeah, maybe like Carolyn was saying, we can
Mhm.
look into some grant stuff. OMPA could probably help out with that too. I mean,
For sure.
they're real good about, we're a member city, they try to keep all their member cities pretty happy. So, does that make any kind of sense, or?
It does.
It does.
I know it don't sound good, but I'm pretty sure we need our electric going.
Absolutely.
Questions? Comments? No? We're good for now?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for waiting.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, no action. Item 6, discussion and possible action to approve contractor's application for payment number 1 for grade work construction, Mangum wastewater discharge improvements project, ODOC grant construction number 18860 CDBG 22 SWOTA REAP grant contract 23GR 23047.
This is for the lagoon project where we got a grant for, so we're just gonna pay out the payroll, and then we get the money back.
Okay.
Well, we get the money and then pay it out.
All right, a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Item 7, discussion and possible action to approve SWOTA invoice 5182 in the amount of $3,000 for CDBG grant admin work, Mangum wastewater discharge improvements.
This is also for the lagoon project, and it is for SWOTA handling, they are the ones who handle all of our paperwork and, all the admin for that right now. We did have that extra funding, so we were able to have SWOTA and Myers help us out a little bit more than usual.
Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, item 8, discussion and possible action to approve invoice 3009-10 to Myers Engineering for the wastewater improvement project in the amount of $25,200.
This also is part of that lagoon project and the grant funding that we got for it.
Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Item 9, discussion and possible action to approve reimbursement payment via direct deposit made to the city of Mangum by ODOT in the amount of $7,628.50 for the payment of invoice 224016 to Myers Engineering for the water line relocation on State Highway 283.
This is the one towards Mangum Brick, where they're, where ODOT is working out there. And
Widened shoulder, we had to move our water line.
and we are the middle person, so we get the money and then we pay out.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
Item 10, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-080502 for Mangum Utility Authority to set customer reimbursement rates for the intentional or negligent destruction or damage to water and the electric meters due to the tampering, misuse, negligence, whether incidental or intentional, that causes the city of Mangum to replace or repair any meter or meter housing.
We've had 4 of our water meters run over by lawnmowers the last 2 weeks. It's costing anywhere between $200 and $300 to replace what's damaged. So we need something in place so we can either call these people and get them to pay for what they damage or put it on a utility bill.
And so this resolution will allow you to do either one, to have them pay for it or put it on the bill?
How did we talk about that, Corey, you remember?
What I put on it is that any fee charged in accordance with this resolution will be levied on the customer's utility bill. The customer must pay the fee in full at the time the customer's utility bill is due or in accordance with any payment arrangement approved in writing. So, any payment arrangements we cover by the MUA's policies and procedures cover all payment arrangements associated with past the utility bills. If we have to go in there and place a meter and we can, I mean, Steve was showing me the ones that, it's pretty obvious that it was either intentional or negligent, because they were just destroyed. So we just assess that charge as a line item on the utility bill, and so they get a big bill, and hopefully enough people get that big bill, they'll quit tearing up those meters.
So it doesn't look like it's just ran over by a lawnmower, it looks like it was,
Well, I mean, yeah, being run over, one of them, you can look like it got ran over by the lawnmower, but I mean, and those things are, y'all all seen them, they're not that high up, so for you to run over it and to cause damage to it means your mower was way low to the ground.
Gotcha.
So, and then some, yeah, some of them do look like they got pulled apart. They're chewed up pretty good.
any other questions or a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution.
Yeah, there was a question.
I just have a question.
Okay.
If you have meters that are out there that are tore up right now, so this is effective starting today?
That's a good
I have a
question.
meter on one property right now as it is, it's tore up and doesn't have a lid on it. It hasn't had a lid on it since I own the property. So.
It's for the
utilities are not
new
charged-
meters.
Is it one of the newer ones, the electric ones?
The meter's still down there, but it does not have a new meter cap on it now.
Yeah, this is for the newer electric meters.
New meter
That
caps.
they just put in,
Understood.
yes.
I'm
Effective
just saying, I know
today.
that the concrete housing, which is one of the things that y'all are discussing, is tore up on this one. So am I gonna be liable and responsible?
Not for the older ones, no.
Are you just talking about that little black thing
Yeah.
that's on the top of them? Okay.
Somebody's alarm is going off.
I believe it costs us, what, $500 to repair one?
Just that stuff that's tore up is between $200 and $300, depending on what's all tore up.
And so, Irma asked the fee, it's the actual cost that we will incur for the replacement meter at the time the replacement meter is purchased, and the actual cost of labor associated with the replacement meter.
Okay.
That way we don't have a set fee, because if it costs us more in the future to
Right.
get it, it kind of floats
Good
to
point.
that higher amount.
Okay.
So it's not really a set fee, it's just whenever we got one torn up and it gets ordered, and if it's $300 and it takes someone X amount to work on it, that's what the cost will be to the customer.
Okay, very good. So we have a motion. How about a second?
I'll second it.
Vote?
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes.
All right, do we have any staff or board remarks at this time?
I just want to just clear up the gentleman from Chicago. That Welcome Center was way before we decided to do the demolition. We did not want to demolish the building. We did everything that we possibly could to save it.
Well, noting that these were two different storms that caused the damage, we did neglect to mention that, just assuming everyone knew.
And we just got that invoice. We should have got it around Derby time, but we just got it. And of course, I think where a lot of the community doesn't understand her charter and our ordinances, internal policies, whatever, I am not allowed to process a check over $5,000. I have to have y'all's approval for anything over $5,000. Is why we have to have those on the agenda.
Thank you. Any other staff or board remarks? Any new business? A motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
Vote?
Hammond,
Yes.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Masco,
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes.
Golden.
Yes. Adjourned.
Got lots of papers to sign.
I'm clocked out already. I can't sign them. I'm clocked out.
Yeah.
Is that your